Hey there, this is Tyson Bradley. I want to run through what uh, I would go through in terms of like the planning foundation guide. And I want to kind of demonstrate this for you because using this guide, it can work for daily planning, it can work for weekly planning, really works for any kind of planning, which is why it's the foundation guide. So I wanted to just actually go through an example of me planning a Saturday, mainly because I wanted to make it real. I also don't normally plan everything that I do on a Saturday, and so I just kind of want to walk through what this could look like for you in planning a day. And I want you to kind of create a habit of how can you just decide ahead of time what you're going to do and follow this guide so that you can do it in a way that really serves your brain. So here's what I'm going to do. I've got my calendar portal up here. I use Google Calendar, and I've got just a blank slate Saturday. And so I'm going to go follow like line by line this foundation guide. And this is what I would encourage you to do as you start out. So block off personal time, free time. So my time is I wake up at about 5:15, and on a Saturday, my girls, I have a 5-year-old and 2-year-old, so I'm going to put morning routine. Now, I can fill this out. I have a pretty set morning routine, but you might edit it and you might add in the things that you want to do. I do thought work, I pray, I read scriptures. I don't necessarily have a set time frame that I keep myself to with these things. It's kind of whatever I feel in the moment that I really want to work on, because some of these things take longer and I want to give myself space for that. So those are just some things that I like to do as part of my morning routine. I exercise too. So exercise. So that's that block. So that's one part of free time. Another thing that I do for free time, or that I might say is my time, is with my wife. And so kids go to bed by 7:30, and so I'm going to set apart 8 to 10 as free time with wife. Okay. So that's my free time. Schedule meals, travel time. So let's see. We'll probably have lunch around 12:30 because that's when we'll probably, I don't know what we'll do. We'll have to decide that. Schedule all meetings and appointments. So I don't have any meetings or appointments. Some of you will probably have meetings like on any regular day. I mean, definitely if I were to go back a day, you'll see that I have plenty of appointments. And you may have appointments or things that you want to get to, but I don't for Saturday. Schedule evaluation time. So I want to set apart a time. This is probably 7:30 evaluation time, where I can evaluate the day and ask myself, kind of follow the evaluation sheet to see how my day went and to just reflect on the day, journal a little bit. That's kind of my time to do that. Schedule unexpected urgency time. So on a normal workday, I will usually set apart like half an hour, or sometimes on a Friday I might set apart an hour where if something comes up that I want to address, then I'll have that time available. So I might actually schedule this as, what's funny is that I call it cake space. Not to eat cake, but it has kind of like a story behind making cake. But anyways, you might just call it space. You might just call it buffer. You might just call it overflow time. Whatever you call it, space. And that's kind of like my unexpected urgency time. Maybe I'll just change it to that. Unexpected urgency. Unexpected urgency time. If I could spell that. There we go. Unexpected urgency. Okay. Make a list of everything you need to get done that isn't already on your calendar. Okay. So besides those things, I need to list everything that I need to get done. So I'm just going to open up this to do, and I'm just going to kind of quickly brainstorm some of the things that I kind of need to do. So I do need to call about my business savings account because for some reason they're struggling to get that up and going. I need to tell my insurance broker about increase in earnings this year, which will kind of change things for us. I want to look at virtual assistants. So virtual assistants review and research. I also kind of want to make a list of projects and assignments that I would give to a virtual assistant. I also want to mow the lawn and maybe organize or clean the garage. Do something fun. I don't know, that's so broad, right? And that's the thing is like, okay, make a list, break large projects into steps. If it's big and vague, then it needs to be broken down into clear, actionable steps. So notice how some of these things, they might be a little bit big and vague. So it's like, what does review and research, what does that look like? What do I actually need to do with that? Well, I need to search online for virtual assistants and then choose top 3 that I would like to, invite, or projects and assignments that I would give to a virtual assistant. I think that's pretty clear. I think maybe if I were to make that clear, I would say make lists of, top 5 items I would give. Mulan, that's clear for me. Not too many steps involved with that. Organize and clean garage. I might say, okay, hey, I need to just clean my countertop. Then do something fun. There's lots of fun things that we could do, and maybe what I'll do is I'll say go to park. Another thing that we might be able to do that's fun, we go to the splash pad. Something else that's fun, my wife was talking about, I don't know, I think she was talking about a park. Go to park up north in Frisco. So I think that was the park that she was talking about. And so I might just list a couple other ideas that I have for doing something fun. Go to Chuck E. Cheese. That would be awesome. I hope that's how you spell Chuck E. Cheese. Not sure. So I'm just gonna leave that. I wonder if there's anything else that I need to. For my church, I need to update agendas. I need to send out email for report to bishops. I need to send reminders about meetings for Sunday. Okay, so here's the thing. It's like I would say, hey, limit yourself. You could probably keep going, and you could could say, hey, what else? When it comes to a daily plan, I would say, hey, let's limit it. Let's almost put a constraint on your planning to not go over the boat here. It's not like we're trying to plan the rest of our lives and all the things we've ever wanted to accomplish, but just being able to get immediate stuff out of our heads that would need to go in for the next day that are likely to be done the following day. So here's my to-do list. And so from this list, the next thing on here is the schedule focus time. So where I'm going to turn off all notifications And it says focus time should produce a result, and learning counts. And so here's the kind of a clarifying question. It's like, what will be completed by the end of this time block? And that's kind of the way in which you can think about, okay, if I'm going to have some focus time, I want to be able to schedule that first and take from my list what is that important project that I really want to dedicate to focus time. And when I say dedicate, I mean this is the most important thing, most important time, because it's focus time. It is zero distractions. I turn on my phone on airplane mode, and no one can bother me during that time. So I want to have my most important project there. So I think I'm going to do both the review and research and just the VA work for this block of time. I think I'm going to just give myself and I'm going to put it, and the idea is we want to be able to plan and write in a way for these activities in a way that's like results oriented. So what this could sound like is top 3 VAs selected and top 5 projects outlined. And I might just put in the notes, kind of copy and paste all the things that I had written. That way I can click on it and say, okay, here's the things that I wrote down that I think need to be done. Great. So now I can cross those off the list. Okay, call about business savings account. Tell me about increase in earnings this year. Okay, call about business savings account. I think I could do that. I'm going to copy and paste that because that's just easy. Call about business savings account. Okay. Then let's see. Usually in the morning, let's erase that. So I'm off to the next step. So it's like I went to step 4, schedule all remaining to-dos, because I've scheduled my focus time, and sometimes I change the color. I double click on the, not double click, but I guess 2-finger click, right click, to change the color of that. And sometimes I also change the color of my free time. So just for fun, you can do whatever you'd like. But this kind of helps me see visually what I'm doing. So top 3 is unexpected urgency. So that's kind of like the space time. Call about business savings account. What else? I need to tell my insurance broker about increase in earnings. I think I'll do that here. And I think, it's like I am kind of defaulting to this half-hour blocks here, but I actually do want to give myself half hour for those things as well. And I actually think I want to switch these because, unexpected urgency might be the idea that this business savings account, as I call in, might last longer. And so I might plan it for there. All right. Now we can mow lawn. All right. So where am I going to put that? I think I will do that in the morning. That usually takes me about an hour and a half with the girls. Well, maybe I'll do that near there. And normally around the morning, organize, clean the garage. Okay, so as you go about your to-do list, really you're kind of asking yourself a question, okay, like, do I really want to do this? Is this something that fits into the calendar? Because I might say, okay, I want to clean off desk in garage. Okay. And I might, clean off the countertop. I might put that there, and then I might change my mind. I might just say, you know what, I actually don't want to do that, and just not do it at all. But I'm just going to put it on the calendar, and then we'll kind of evaluate at the end. So do something fun. I'm going to actually put these usually we're fun time. And I'm going to put these in the notes, and then I'll talk with my wife about which one she'd like to do, because I just want to leave that open and not decide on that quite yet. And so you can kind of decide later. Decide to decide later. But that's kind of the space that I want to keep for that. Now, I've got some blank spaces. I know that I'll still need to have breakfast and other things like that. Do something fun, that's done. Usually in the morning, I am doing these three things. So I could break it out if I want, or I could do church work, and I'll just put it on like that. So it's up to you kind of how you want to structure it. This is something that I do pretty regularly, so I know what's entailed and how long it takes me. And so just know that, whatever system that you decide and whatever really serves you, I just know that sometimes if I consistently am not following through on things, then breaking it down into bite-sized chunks and literally putting, clean off desk and garage and I might say, okay, that's just going to take me 15 minutes. I might, actually just do that and say, okay, it's actually going to take me 15, and I save that. And I put it in the calendar as some tiny little thing, because the more you break it down, the easier your brain looks at that and says, oh yeah, I can do that. And you don't need as much motivation, don't need as much willpower to be able to follow through on it. Okay, so done. Everything is off the to-do list, which is beautiful and wonderful, and that's what we want to be able to do. Now, I want to take a moment and review the day and make adjustments. And I think also I need to include in here breakfast. I'm going to include some breakfast. We'll have dinner. I forgot mealtime. How did I forget mealtime? Schedule meals. I scheduled lunch, friends, but I did not schedule breakfast and dinner. How could I? So I'm not perfect. That's good to know. I just skipped right over those meals. So we actually do dinner around here. I think this space that's just playtime. Playtime with girls. Relaxing time. The scriptures and get ready for bed. So that'll be for the girls. We'll help them get ready for bed. All right. So it's boom. Whole day is planned. Amazing. And now I want to review. And this is such an important question. And I want to explain it here real quick. But just this idea of, will my future self, the one who actually has to execute this plan, thank me for setting them up for success? So when you look at your calendar and when you see what's going on, that there's fun time, there's mowing the lawn, and there's these activities that are on the calendar, and you think about your future self actually executing those, does it feel good? Does it feel doable? Does it feel like something you'll actually follow through on? And if not, if your gut is saying, you know what, this seems like a lot, or I look at those activities and I think, I don't know if I want to do those at that time, or I'm going to be pretty resistant about that experience, then this is if you are not excited about this, or your future self and the person who's going to execute on this it's not likely that you'll do it, then make some adjustments. And the adjustments can look like this. As I look at this, I think that part of my morning routine will need to go to church work. I'll need to shorten that, because I just know that my girls will likely wake up around 7, and then that will be difficult. And so I think the breakfast and the playtime, I think there's just kind of I might even just keep that blank, because I just want to be able to have some space where, hey, I don't need to necessarily fill in all of this, but I can just know that, hey, it's kind of just an open space. Get ready for the fun time. You know, we're going to be out the door or try and be out the door by 9. I might even change this because as I think about the day, I actually want to spend less. I want to give myself less time for the projects outlined, and so that I can oh, this one's actually not going to take that long. It's like easily 15 minutes because it's just an email. I could probably do both of these things within that half hour of time. Yeah. And then I can do more just playtime, relaxing, helping with the girls. I've got 2 girls, friends. So, yeah, as I look at that, I think the only concern, and I'll have to talk with my wife, is when we want to leave for doing something fun and whether or not, because what I might do is actually mow the lawn here and move the playtime with girls up here so that it's like we have this whole block, this whole morning to just go do something fun. And I'm not like having to rush back to mow the lawn. I think that sounds actually a lot better. Sometimes the girls come out and play with me when I mow the lawn. So there you go. Like that's, to me, as I look at this and I ask myself, like, when my future self thank me for setting them up for success, I'd be like, actually, yeah, that sounds doable, and I want to get these things done. I think it's important for me to get, and I've got some blank space there. And I don't really, yeah. Okay, yeah. So that's a process you can go through for weekly planning, for daily planning. And at first, it may take longer. For me, I've got much of this stuff on repeat. So it's like every Saturday, you can program it's like weekly on Saturday. I always have free time with my wife at that time. So I'm not having to like reschedule all the dinner, the lunches. It's like the things that I know are going to be recurring. So you could go in here and you can say, okay, morning routine, repeat daily, and save it, and then it's always going to show up. Those are some little things that you can do to just repeat it. But for any one-off tasks, just being able to write it down, schedule it on the calendar, cross it off your list, and then ask yourself, hey, will my future self thank me for setting them up for success? If I'm the CEO and I'm planning for my employee gets that day, it's like my employee self, are they going to be like, wow, this is a lot, or this isn't really serving me? Or are they going to be like, oh, yeah, this is like a relaxed day. I'm giving myself plenty of time. I'm giving myself the time that I want to have, and I'm still getting things done. And there you have it. So once this is all done, it's like I'm going to evaluate, and I'm going to be able to say, okay, hey, how did this day go? Did I give myself like the time that I wanted, or was I rushed? Did I feel like this kind of thing should have taken longer or less? So those are kind of some questions that you can ask yourself come evaluation time. But yeah, so there you go. That is the Planning Foundation Guide for a daily plan. And the more you do this, the quicker it will become. But I do believe that just starting out with this baseline of planning in this way really help you and set you up for success. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.